Hey there, welcome back. You know what? August just became the most important month for Social Security in years. And if you're thinking, oh great, more government changes, trust me, you need to hear this. Because some of what's happening this month could literally determine whether you can access your own benefits next month. I'm talking about payment surprises that might make you think you hit the lottery, new security rules that could lock you out of your own account, and a paper check phase out that's moving faster than most people realize. Plus, there's some controversy brewing around overpayments that's got people on fixed incomes genuinely panicked. But here's the thing that's really got my attention. Starting this month, it just became exponentially harder to handle your Social Security business over the phone. And I mean exponentially. We're talking about a change so significant that millions of Americans might wake up one day unable to manage their own benefits. Before we dive into this mess, and trust me, some of it is a mess, I need to know something from you. What's the one thing you wish were easier about dealing with Social Security? The website that crashes? The phone system that keeps you on hold for hours? The local office that's never open when you need it? Drop one sentence in the comments. Your frustration might be exactly what someone else is going through right now. And listen, if this kind of insider information helps you stay ahead of the curve instead of getting blindsided by government changes, hit that subscribe button. Because what we're about to uncover is the kind of stuff they hope you'll just figure out on your own. All right, let's start with the part that's probably already messing with your head, the August payment schedule. If you receive SSI, that's Supplemental Security Income, you've probably already noticed something weird this month. Instead of your usual one payment, you're getting two. The first one hit on Friday, August 1st. The second one's coming Friday, August 29th. Now, before you start planning that extra vacation, pump the brakes. That second check, it's not bonus money. It's technically your September payment, but they're sending it early because September 1st falls on Labor Day this year. It's completely normal calendar shuffling, but here's the catch. That means no SSI payment in September. Zero. Nada. So if you're not paying attention to your budget, that early August windfall could set you up for a really rough September. Don't let the extra cash fool you into spending money you'll need next month. For everyone else getting regular Social Security, your payment timing depends on when your benefits started and, weirdly enough, your birthday. If you get both SSI and regular Social Security, or if your benefits started before May 1997, your check should have landed on Friday, August 1st. For everyone else, it's birthday roulette time. Birthday between the 1st and 10th, Wednesday, August 13th, between the 11th and 20th, Wednesday, August 20th, between the 21st and 31st, Wednesday, August 27th. Direct deposit usually hits first thing in the morning, sometimes before your coffee finishes brewing. But if you're still getting physical checks, give it extra time because mail delays are still a real thing in some areas. Speaking of paper checks, here's where things get interesting and potentially problematic. There's a massive push underway to get everyone off paper checks and onto direct deposit or those direct express debit cards. The SSA has made it crystal clear they do not want to be in the paper check business anymore. They've already phased them out for most people, and despite some earlier panic, they're not disappearing completely yet. If you absolutely cannot access a bank account or electronic payment system, you can still get a paper check. But if you have any way to switch, now's the time. It's faster, safer, and way less likely to get lost in the mail or stolen from your mailbox. Now let's talk about the change that's got everyone confused and more than a little frustrated. Starting this month, like right now, you can no longer verify your identity over the phone for most Social Security tasks. Think about that for a second. Something you've been able to do for decades just disappeared overnight. Want to change your address, update your benefit information, make account changes? You've got exactly two options. Log into your MySocial Security account online or physically visit a field office in person. That's it. The phone option is gone. The SSA says this is all about security. Too many scam attempts, too many people getting impersonated over the phone, too much fraud bleeding the system dry. And honestly, on paper, that makes perfect sense. But here's the problem they didn't think through. Millions of Americans either don't have reliable internet access or aren't comfortable using technology. We're talking about seniors who've never owned a smartphone, people in rural areas with spotty internet, individuals with disabilities who struggle with websites. So while this change might stop some fraud, it's also creating a massive barrier for people who already face technology challenges. It's like solving a security problem by locking out the people who need help most. After a lot of pushback, and I mean a lot, the SSA did clarify one thing. You won't be forced to visit an office just to prove who you are. If you can use the online portal, great. If not, you can still work things out in person when absolutely necessary. But here's the reality. This change is permanent. It starts this month. And if you've been putting off setting up your online account, you just ran out of excuses. It's honestly the fastest way to get help these days, especially with call centers still struggling to meet demand and wait times stretching into hours. And speaking of things that are catching people completely off guard, overpayment letters are making a comeback in a big way. As of July, the SSA now has the authority to withhold up to 50% of your monthly benefit to recover what they call overpayments. And I say what they call because a lot of people are receiving letters years after the fact, claiming they owe thousands of dollars, even when the original mistake wasn't theirs. Picture this. You're 75 years old, living on a fixed Social Security income, and suddenly you get a letter saying you owe $18,000 from an error that happened in 2019. An error you had nothing to do with. An error you didn't even know existed. And now they want to take half your monthly check until it's paid back. Some of these letters are going out to people with no warning, no explanation, just a demand for money they don't have. And it's creating real panic among people who can least afford to lose income. Now, there is some hope on the horizon. A bipartisan bill in the Senate, called the Stop the Clawback Act, aims to reduce these overpayment recoveries. It would limit collections to 5% of monthly benefits instead of 50%, and it would forgive debts older than 10 years. But it hasn't passed yet. So for now, if you get one of those overpayment letters, do not ignore it. Don't stick it in a drawer and hope it goes away. You can file an appeal, request a waiver, or set up a payment plan. But the absolute key is responding quickly. These things don't just disappear if you ignore them. On the brighter side, because there actually is some good news, the SSA has been rolling out some much-needed technological upgrades. After years of running on systems that belonged in a museum, they're finally replacing outdated software and making the website more reliable. Some people are already noticing shorter wait times when calling, and the My Social Security portal is now available 24/7, which wasn't always the case. It's still a work in progress, but it's starting to make a real difference for people who can navigate the technology. And here's something that actually went right for once. Remember those changes to the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset? They're gone, completely eliminated. But the SSA didn't just repeal these rules. They managed to get retroactive payments out to over 3 million people 5 months ahead of schedule. We're talking about over $17 billion returned to public servants like teachers, police officers, and firefighters who'd been shortchanged for years. If you were impacted by WEP or GPO, hopefully you've already seen that money hit your account. If not, check your statements or contact SSA directly to confirm your eligibility. Now, while we're talking about changes, let's clear up some confusion about those Trump accounts you might have heard about. These are new investment accounts for babies born between 2025 and 2029. Every child gets a $1,000 deposit to start, and family members can contribute more over time. It's designed to promote early saving habits. But the political controversy erupted when someone in the administration suggested it could be a pathway toward privatizing Social Security. Cue the panic. The White House quickly walked that back, saying no, these accounts are meant to supplement Social Security, not replace it. Whether it stays supplemental or evolves into something bigger down the line, we'll have to wait and see. But if you're hearing chatter about this being the beginning of Social Security privatization, now you know why. And while we're on the topic of big changes, let's not forget about those solvency concerns that aren't going away. Even with all these updates and modernized systems, the trust fund is still projected to run short in the early 2030. If Congress doesn't act, benefits could be cut by as much as 24% starting in 2033. That's not some distant future problem, that's barely 8 years away. One idea that keeps floating around is switching to the CPIE, a different inflation measure that better reflects how seniors actually spend their money, especially on healthcare and housing. Some economists say it's long overdue. Others worry it could actually speed up the insolvency timeline. Nothing's been decided yet, but it's definitely something to keep watching. So what should you actually do this month? First, if you get SSI, remember you're seeing 2 payments in August but nothing in September. Don't let that early check mess up your budget planning. Second, if you haven't already, set up your online SSA account immediately. With the new phone restrictions, it's really your best option for staying in control of your information without having to visit an office. Third, if you're still receiving paper checks and you have any way to switch to direct deposit or direct express, seriously consider making the change. It's not required for everyone yet, but it's strongly encouraged and could save you major headaches down the road. Fourth, if you're affected by any of these policy changes, overpayment letters, WEP and GPO repeals, payment schedule shifts, double-check your benefit status this month. A lot of people are seeing changes, and it's way better to be proactive than surprised. Before we wrap up, I've got to ask, how do you feel about all these rule changes lately? Are they making things easier for you, or just adding more confusion to an already complicated system? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. I genuinely want to hear what your real-world experience has been like, and if this breakdown helped you understand what's actually happening instead of just hearing rumors and confusion, give it a thumbs up so more people can stay informed. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's probably a good time. Between modernization efforts, benefit shifts, and new programs, there's constantly something new happening with Social Security. Take care of yourself, budget smart with those payments, and I'll see you next time with whatever curveball the government throws at us next.